Hello everybody out there in the internet and comic book world, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. Finally, after 2 weeks of being late, we are back on time with the comic book review. And the first time ever, actually myself and Mike had two Marvel Now books that we actually reviewed before even shooting this video, the weekly comic book review. But as I said, guys, we are dedicated to give you guys top-notch reviews on Dark Avenger Inc. No book is left behind. Even if somebody's late on their book, there's always somebody as a backup. So, which, for example, with Mike's Spider Slayer, with Mike's A plus X. But when A plus X2 comes out, Mike will be reviewing that. We got big things coming, man. Guys, I wish I could only discuss half the stuff we have planned. Unfortunately, one of the big things had to be canceled. But I can say this. 2013 is going to still be a big year for Dark Avenger Inc.
And 13 is a lucky number. And
we're going out of 2012 with a bang. And I have something I'm planning as a special to make up for the unfortunate end to one of the possible biggest projects I had in mind that now I'm having to put on the shelf for a while. But I have my own little surprise that maybe will be a little bit equal to that, but I'm saving that from everybody. Nobody knows this surprise because I think this time I'm going to do it myself, and we'll see how I do things myself for once. Anyway, countdown. We are 41. We're still in the 40s for 2 more episodes.
Yep.
Well, no, 1 more episode. We're 41. This episode and next episode. 2 episodes. We are in the 40s still. So, time is just moving by slow. But I'll make you a bet when we're in the 10s. It'll, like, when it's from 10 all the way down to 1, it'll move super fast. So we are 41 episodes away from the 200th Dark Avenger comic book review. Damn, we've been around a while.
Yep. You've done good.
Also to note, Zone 4 is now on Dark Avenger Inc. For those of you that have been craving Zone 4 on YouTube, you can go slide over to Dark Avenger Inc. Episode 192 is on Dark Avenger
I saw
Inc.
it actually. It was really good.
And we're looking forward to all the stuff we'll be doing with Zone 4 and beyond on Dark Avenger Inc. But this is my channel. This is the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. So damn it, let's get into what matters the most and why you guys are here. And at some point I'm going to figure out a way to keep this as one huge part. And if you guys missed it, I am keeping all the books you guys want on this channel. I will be doing a special 3rd or 2nd part to my comic book reviews, which will be a complete slideshow of all my digital books that I get. So you guys will still be getting all the books.
And let's not forget, these comic books came out November 14th,
2012. Thank you, November 14th. And first off, from Image, we have Walking Dead 104, and the cover says it all. Rick is no longer in control. He tells everybody, listen, I'm not the boss anymore. Negan's the boss. He has this grand master plan that has Jesus scoping out Negan. Jesus gets caught, by the way, and then makes his own little escape. I forgot the dang guy's name with the burn face. I always forget his name. And Mike Spider Slayer says it on his reviews all the time. And it's like, oh yeah, that's the guy's name. And then it's like, oh,
he's called Burnface Man.
Burnface Man. Dwight. Thank you. Dwight catches Jesus. They're going to bring him back to Negan. Jesus somehow escapes. And Dwight's like, he never came. We didn't, we have nothing for him. And Negan's not really, he doesn't really give a crap about Dwight anyway. But beside the point, out comes Carl. Because from the last issue, we saw he was in the truck.
Still got that eye patch?
He doesn't have an eye anymore.
Oh, because
he doesn't have an eye anymore.
Oh.
And he takes out a lot of Negan's men, but unfortunately, yeah, he runs out of, I don't know if he runs out of ammo or the gun just falls out of his hand, and Dwight's ready to beat the crap out of Carl, and then Negan's like, no, stop it. That's not, he's just an innocent, a defenseless child, and that's no way to treat our guest, and that's where they leave you off. So Negan now has Carl. And you gotta wonder, you know, Rick was pushed to the breaking point before. What will happen? What will Negan do to Carl? And if anything happens to Carl, I'd hate, I mean really hate, to see what Rick will do next. That, I think if he already lost his wife, now if he loses his son, oh boy.
Things are gonna go haywire.
I don't want to think about what will happen if Carl dies, but I don't think they'll kill Carl. But I'm just curious to see what will happen to Carl. You never know what will happen to him. And, yeah, and you know Negan's definitely going to go back to Rick. And Rick in this issue actually is, in the issue before, he was calling for Carl. Or was it? No, it was in the beginning of this issue. I'm sorry, I'm remembering the preview. He calls to Carl, and Carl's not there. He's in the actual car. That's right. Negan walks out at the end of the last issue. Sorry, guys. This is why you shouldn't read previews, because then you think it's the book before, and it was before I read this book.
Very confusing.
Yeah. Previews are good because it tells people what they you know, it shows people what's inside the book, how the artwork looks and everything. And believe me, I bought or didn't buy a book because of the preview sometimes. So to be honest, previews are important, but dang, when you do a comic review, make sure you don't confuse the preview with the previous issue. So if Carl's in trouble, let's see how things go between Negan and Rick. I'm waiting. I'm hoping Carl's the one that kills Negan, to be quite honest, but I highly doubt Carl's going to be the one to kill Negan. And the only independent book, other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, that I would put before The Walking Dead, Locke and Key, Omega, issue 1. After this book, there are only 6 more issues until it's all over. They've already announced they're making a trilogy movie of the whole series. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they couldn't make 9 movies of every single book, obviously. So this book is kind of, in my opinion, more of a sum up. First of all, Dodge, who is still inside Bode's body, is collecting all the keys. And he actually has all the keys, but he goes to collect the, if you guys saw the preview, he collects the Crown of Shadows. Crown of the Shadows, or whatever it is. And the people in the lighthouse see him, and let's just say they don't exactly make it to telling anybody. So Dodge, who is in Bode's body, goes to the where the Omega door is, and he actually, now that he has possession of all the keys, he drains the I forgot what this place was called, but he drains the water from the dam, I'll call it a dam, I don't remember where it was. Somebody will probably tell me in the comments where it was. And he's going for the Omega door. Wow, it jumps back and forth. It goes from the Bode going to the Omega door, to, or Dodge really, and back to this guy. It's the last year of high school, so he's making, like, if you can go back in time, what one thing would you change? And he goes to all the characters throughout the entire book. He gets to Tyler, and Tyler's talking about how if he could go back in time, he wouldn't tell that guy who killed his father. He would, if he does decide to kill his father, to go kill his father too. And yeah. And it turns out he's also possibly making a key with the Whispering Iron that he had from, that he discovered he had from the last story arc. There's a lot of crying, there's a lot of sadness in this issue because it's a lot of, but there's a lot of joy also. I don't want to give too much away. You guys really have to read Locke and Key. First of all, this series is all interconnected. You won't understand what's going on unless you've been reading. That's why a lot of people that ask me, could I jump in on this story arc? Not really, because you'd have no idea that Bode is no longer in his body. It's possessed by Dodge's spirit. You won't know how they came across all the other keys, which, by the way, Bode Dodge, I'm going to call him, has in his possession. He literally is holding every single key, including the Omega one. So then finally he gets down to where the Whispering Iron, not the Omega door is, and it turns out there's a little surprise. For those of you that read the last story arc, you might remember this. You should remember this. It isn't that old. When Dodge was pulling all those memories out of that woman, it turns out one of the memories, the tiny memories, somehow survived under the ocean with Dodge's form of body for a very long time. And you got to wonder what that has in store, what ramifications that has on the entire final chapter of Locke and Key. And the issue ends with him being at the Omega Gate, or door, or whatever. You open it up, and that's where it's to be continued. There's a lot of dialogue in this book that I can't even.
That key? That's in the cover.
This they did make it. I
I
haven't bought it yet. The Omega Key. Yeah, I didn't buy it yet. There's so much dialogue in this book, and so much going backward. Little flashbacks here and there that I cannot. It would take me the half hour of this program part to get through this entire book. My advice: if you've not read a thing of Locke and Key, you can't buy this issue. You can't, because you wouldn't understand half of the stuff that's going on. And I actually started buying the individual issues after I bought the first 4 volumes in hardcover. Go back. The hardcovers are really cheap. I literally got hooked after the first one, and I bought all 4, one after another, for 4 weeks. You can do that. They're very cheap, and the 5th volume just came out. I believe this is the 5th and the 6th. I don't know. There's so many volumes.
Isn't it the 5th volume?
No, this is, I believe, the 7th and final one.
Wait, what are you talking about? The ones you bought?
The ones I bought, I have volumes 1 through 4.
Right.
I believe.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that must be the 6th or 7th.
Right. Either way, Joe Hill's amazing. Gabriel Rodriguez's artwork is awesome. It's a great run. Go back, read the full story, come back to the buy it and put it on your shelf, and wait till you read the other books before you read this. For those of you Locke and Key fans, you know this is fantastic, and I'm sure just like you guys, I had to fix my sentence there, am at the edge of my seat, cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the next 6 issues. Now in the big 2, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, issue 4. Long story short, Man-at-Arms appearance. He is working with Evil Lynn. Every time I say her name, I want to say Evelyn. Skeletor wants Evil Lynn. See, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. To kill He-Man, right away, Prince Adam, and she's like, no, I'm gonna sacrifice him to the cauldron or whatever. I
still wonder if she ever turned good, if she'd be called Goodlin. That she's on a good side. I just wonder.
Man-at-Arms goes to Teela and Adam while they're in jail, and he's like, "Why are you an enchantress? I've been dreaming about you my entire life." And she's like, "Are you my dad?" And he just walks away. So he has that wonder of, is she my daughter or something like that. So then Evil Lynn decides that Adam and Teela are going to fight to the death, and one will be sacrificed to the cauldron. If they don't fight, they're going to get shot at anyway. And I'm going to leave you guys without seeing the last page, but things don't look good for Adam at the end of this book. This book read pretty fast, to be quite honest, this time. For a Pendulum issue, I don't believe it's going to be 5 issues. It doesn't feel like this is a Pendulum issue. I don't feel like...
What issue is this? 4?
4. It's supposed to be 5 issues, but I don't believe, unless they changed it, I don't believe this is a Pendulum issue.
4 or 5. Maybe it's an ongoing.
I'm either led to believe that this is an ongoing series now, or this story arc is going to be a lot longer than 5 issues, and I was misled. If anybody knows, please let me know, because if the next issue is the last, there's a lot that's going to have to happen in the last issue, and I highly doubt that this is the Pendulum issue.
They would have said of something, like 4 of 5.
Sometimes they don't do that anymore.
They don't? Then how you supposed to know? I mean, if it's a miniseries...
I don't know. But I love the cover art.
Yeah, the cover is nice.
There's a bunch of nice stuff that goes on. This book was really good. I would definitely recommend it. Green Lantern Corps issue 14. We left off last time with Guy Gardner and the other Lanterns versus the Third Army. Things don't go so well for Guy Gardner and the other Lanterns, because they all get assimilated into the Third Army except for Guy Gardner, who hightails it out of there. Hightails it out at the end. And, yeah, he runs for Earth to protect all the people that he thinks... What's his name? God dang it. Zar. He thinks that Zar would go and kill. While somewhere else on Oa, Salak and Kilowog are starting to question the Guardians and the rings. He's like, are you sure everybody's in the right place? They go and they do some research and they find some stuff out that, yeah. So they're working together now.
Oh, whoa.
Star Sapphire Fatale comes back, and she actually goes straight to, who didn't see this coming, John Stewart, who's trying to put Mogo back together, and that's the only time you see John Stewart in this entire issue. And then we go back to Guy Gardner, who's summoned to Oa. It turns out that the ship he was supposed to guard was destroyed. The other lanterns were destroyed. And basically he's humiliated in front of the entire Lantern Corps. And spoiler alert here, he resigns. And he gives up his ring. The Guardians accept his resignation and send him back to Earth. The end of this issue. Wow. This was wow. And you gotta know Guy Gardner's gonna put his ring back on at some point. Also, Selak and Kilowog sent a Green Lantern to Earth to try to find out where Hal Jordan is. Little do they know that Hal Jordan's inside Black Hand's ring, which is somewhere in I forgot, in the Shadow realm, the Shadow something. It's from the last issue. Go back to the last comic review, and I said it like a million times, and now I've completely forgot it.
Shadow World?
Something like that.
Realm World?
I don't know. But this was really good. Definitely check it out. But, book from DC that was the best for this week was Batman issue 14. Death in the Family is just getting better and better. Batman, Bruce finds out that Joker took Alfred, and now he's on the search not only for Joker, but for Alfred, to get Alfred back. And Greg Capello's artwork is really good. Scott Snyder's writing is really awesome. Unfortunately, something happens to Commissioner Gordon. Joker does something to Commissioner Gordon. Get this book and you'll find out. I'm not spoiling it. It is one of the few $3.99 books left from DC. Batman and Nightwing have a conversation about what's going on, and that Joker took Alfred, but he doesn't want the rest of the Bat family to know. Nightwing and Batman come up with a plan. Batman finally, for the first time in this series, comes face to face with the Joker and confronts the Joker. And there's a long-winded conversation where basically Joker one-ups Batman, I think. Not only does he, he's like, you know what, I just want to talk. Let's just get this all out of the way. I killed the people I figured I'd kill. I blew up the dam where Nightwing is. Yeah, basically it's all out of the way. Let's just talk. And basically he has a message for Batman and the rest of the Bat family. And I'm going to spoil it. I'm warning you because I'm not reviewing this book in any in-depther. So I'm going to count down to 3 and then I'm going to spoil it. You can wait till I put this book down. You can fast forward this review a bit until you see me with the next book. And then you can continue in 1, 2, 3. He claims he knows all the identities of the Bat family. He's like, I know who you are. And he's like, you guys are a bunch of... I never thought I'd see the Joker curse. But anyway, he's like... And within the next 72 hours, you'll all be dead. And here's the punchline. Batman's the one that's going to kill you. And that's why they leave off. The second story I didn't really read too much into. It's Penguin and Joker. I don't know if they're teaming up or something. I didn't even care to really read it.
Penguin says I'm listening.
You know, for an extra $1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. I'm paying an extra $1 for 6 pages of a backup story that I could care less about. I mean, yes, some of the backup stories were good. And yeah, I'm sure somebody's going to now jump down my throat and say, hey, the Penguin and Joker's backup at some point was important. Far be it from me. I don't care. But at the same time, if I was buying a lot of the DC comic books, I would not be too happy that I'm paying an extra $1 for Batman for a 6-page story that I could care less about. So if you're listening, DC... just take the second story out of your books and bring your books back. Bring it down to $2.99. I dropped Action Comics already. I dropped Justice League because of the $3.99 price tag. I'm keeping Batman strictly because Scott Snyder and Greg Capello. And I just told you I dropped 2 of your $3.99 books. Why do I got to drop Batman? So really good. Best book of the week. The story, it's shaping up. And I think Joker isn't lying because, a little spoiler for you guys, I did look into what's going on in Batgirl. Apparently, Joker's talking to Barbara, and he kind of knows. At least that's what I saw from the preview.
That might be.
So I think Joker might know more than Batman's giving him credit for. So I would definitely pick up Batman 14 at least. I'm not picking up any of the other tie-ins. You guys know I read Nightwing. I might pick up Batman and Robin again because I dropped so many DC titles, but other than that, there's really nothing else that I would pick up. Maybe Red Hood and the Outlaws at some point once it's back on just Jason Todd. I wish they'd get rid of the Outlaws and just make a Red Hood book. I would read that. I really would. I would read a Red Hood-centric book. And with that, we're leaving DC. Yeah, I only get 3 DC books this week, and the rest is all Marvel. First, we have the Marvel Universe versus the Avengers, issue 2 of 4. And in this issue, it's basically the Avengers versus Doctor Doom, who claims to have found a cure. And he actually did, because all of Latveria is cured, and he shows them that he has his place cured. And oh, he doesn't show it yet. And all the Avengers have to do is basically kneel before him and consider him, you know, and he basically becomes the ruler of the world and whatnot. Avengers say no, they fight Doctor Doom, they don't fare too well, and then, spoiler here, Hercules and the Moloids.
Are you serious? They
Moloids, that are infected along with a couple other underground people, including Mole Man, come burrowing through the ground, and basically they attack the Avengers.
We didn't see that coming. I didn't even think there'd be a Hercules.
Oh yeah, I saw this coming. And then it's Avengers versus all the infected Moloids and Hercules. And then basically Hawkeye's like, Doctor Doom just steps back and says, doesn't do anything. And then Hawkeye's like, what are you doing? You're just standing there. Show, you know, we need your help. Show us you can do it. And he's like, you insulted me and attacked me. Why should I help you? He's like, prove that what you could do is what you could do, and by all means, we'll bow to you. Or would you rather be the emperor of a dead world? And he's like, fine. And he actually makes very quick work of all the infected. And in the end, he's like, acknowledge Doom as your emperor of all Earth on your knees. And yeah, that's basically how the book ends.
Wow.
With them on their knees. So basically, Doctor Doom found a cure, and he puts the Avengers down to their knees. Now let's see in the next issue, because it can't be over yet. There's still 2 more issues to go. So I doubt that Doctor Doom found a cure if there's still 2 more issues to go. If it was like the Pendulum issue, then I'd kind of believe that Doctor Doom has a cure. But because I'm not seeing a conclusion coming in the near future, there's still 2 more months worth of these books. I don't think Doctor Doom is really going to have the cure that he claims he has. Riding off of last week's Avengers line, New Avengers issue 33, the Pendulum issue of the New Avengers. And I love this book because Brother Voodoo continues to go down an even darker path. At first, Maria Hill has, first of all, one thing that really was a shock to the system, because in the last issue, you remember seeing the artwork in the last issue, they changed the artist for this issue. On a whim. Literally, the artist changed on a whim.
Why?
I don't know, but it's like I opened the book expecting one type of art, and I'm not complaining about the art. The art's fine. I opened the book and expected this art from the preview, and I got that art, and I was a little shaken up. It's Mike Avon Oming doing the art in this book. It was just a small shock to the system because I wasn't expecting the art, but it's fine. So Maria Hill tells Doctor Doom to stand down. He's under arrest and whatnot, and it's kind of weird because Maria Hill was just at Avengers Mansion. Remember that, because we're gonna get a little bit later on into something else. Captain Marvel allows Luke Cage and Jessica Jones to escape. Doctor Strange is trying to convince Maria Hill that, you know, it's Brother Voodoo. She's like, pull up his file and you'll find out. And one of the agents does. And he's like, he's in this room somewhere and he's talking like he's in the room. And Maria Hill thinks he's completely loco. And then it turns out he actually is in the room. And spoiler here, he shoots Maria Hill, but it turns out it's not Maria Hill. Trust me. It's like this clone thing, and it jumps into one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and then Daniel disappears. Doctor Strange is like, Maria's really still at Avengers Mansion, and she now believes Doctor Strange is the right guy. She's like, come back and we'll figure this out. He's like, no, it's the most dangerous thing in the world to do that. So she says, I already called in the other Avengers. He's like, no, send them back, don't do this. And then it turns out that Daniel's back at Avengers Mansion, and it's basically the rest of the book is about him possessing one Avenger after the other, and the Avengers are basically beating themselves up, and then Luke Cage makes a decision to go help, and then finally Doctor Strange gets pissed pissed off, really good. Pissed off. And he shows up again and he actually challenges Dr. Voodoo to one final battle to the death. To be concluded. And 2-1, this is going to be another $4.99 conclusion issue, go figure. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but very good story, very good. Cover's misleading, Jessica Jones, I think I said the wrong name, which is the only reason why I'm going back into this book. No, I was right. It was not killed in this issue, at least. Yeah, pretty misleading, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to go on with Brother Voodoo. Was Dr. Voodoo. I'm glad he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. Doctor Strange is a much better Sorcerer Supreme than he. And to save some books for the comic reviews next part, there are 2 more Marvel books, and then we go into Marvel Now. We have 2 minutes left.
You could do another one.
No, I think I'll save...
You sure you might have enough time?
I guess we can do one more. Okay, Gambit issue 5 we'll do really quickly. Gambit was caught by the guy he stole from the first story arc, so this is kind of a connecting story. You guys wouldn't be lost, per se, but, oh, what was his name? Chick something.
Chick Magnet.
Chick person. And, basically... he owes this guy now for stealing the Scarab and destroying his collection. So he's like, I'm going to have agents watching you, and if you step out of line, we'll kill you. So the whole thing is his mission, and the artwork is stunning, of course.
Yeah, and every Gambit comic book, I would say, is amazing.
Stunning artwork. So there's small parts of the mission. He doesn't know the full mission. Every step of the way, he's given a new part to the mission. And it's all to steal these, spoiler alert here, teleporters. And, yeah, you're going to learn to hate this guy. I forgot his name. It's all the way at the beginning of the issue. I see the time ticking down. That's why, Remlick, whatever. So he tries to betray them and take one of the teleporters and teleport off. However, it teleports him the Chick, who basically has him dangling in his plane, and then drops him. And right before he hits the ground, he's teleported back because the shackles on his legs actually were teleporters. And he's like, this was all a warm-up for your actual, the actual target. Now that you know how serious I am and you understand how serious this is, you'll do your real task. We'll do your real target now. And then they also introduce this other guy, Dr. Wisdom, at the very end of the book. I have no idea who it is.
He looks like he could be a villain.
No. And then the next issue is called British Invasion.
In the end, it looks like a villain.
So, I'm liking... Called it. Okay, go behind the camera. I'm liking Gambit. I really am. It's an enjoyable book. However, I would definitely say you need to pick up the first 4 issues to understand what's going on right now. So for a second story arc, it's still connected sort of to the first. So, yeah, you're definitely going to have to pick up the other 4 issues. It was a good book, great art, interesting story. Poor Gambit, he's stuck in a fine mess, so I guess we'll have to see how he digs himself out in the next issue. He tried in this one and failed. Let's see if he attempts again to escape and fails again. Definitely something to check out. It's not in the Marvel Now connection yet, but at some point I have a feeling Gambit possibly will be, or maybe he'll I don't know. I hope they don't cancel Gambit, but really good read. I'd definitely say check it out. Alright guys, now, since Michael made me do another comic, we will see you guys in the next part with the rest of the books. One more and then Marvel Now books. So, see you guys in part 2.